Hey guys, before we start the video, I just want to say that I am doing viewer VOD reviews. I've done this before on my Discord channel. It was a little unorganized and didn't work so well. But this time, if you do want your VOD reviewed, be sure to check out the link in the description. I have like a Google form for you to fill out, plus like a Dropbox, so that you can drop off your VODs. And if you're a fan of the channel, you might see yourself up on the big screen. So, yeah, I'm just trying to spice up the content a little bit, try something new. Going to be doing VOD reviews for you guys, for myself, and yeah, and still obviously do these pro gameplay, breakdowns that we do. So with that being said, let's hop into the video. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Sage and her recent use on Haven. A lot of teams have been using her. Really strong agent, kind of underrated in my opinion. She was used like in the earlier days of Valorant, but it's good to see that she's making a comeback. She's really good because she can wall off key choke points like Garage or B, and you can sort of make plays around her wall, as you can see in these videos. But some of these walls that you're going to see are kind of like cool, special like walls that can allow you to do certain things. And as I show them to you in these rounds, I'm going to go in a custom game and show you how to do them. So we're going to start with the series of Paper X versus Optic. This was back in Copenhagen. But the Sage wall that they do is really cool. So you're going to see, what is it? They know that Ye's been playing sort of like in this like area, right, with his op, and this is where most oppers play to, like hold this cross. So you're going to see how Paper X uses Sage's wall to sort of deny that information and sort of punish him for this play. So the round starts. They have a passive guy holding C, trip holding mid. Now Sage, she aims at this area. I'm going to show you how you get there. Walls up so that Jing can take a peek at Ye holding long. And I thought that was really cool. And almost kills him, by the way. I just want to mention. He gets him down to 54 HP. That's their chamber op. He's kind of freaked out. He's like, oh, what the, what? Like, that's something they've never seen before. So they do that, immediately double back into, like, their C hit. And, yeah, they actually end up winning this round. I thought this was really cool. They used that, Asher Smoke to create some pressure, plus that wallet peak to, like, push chamber back. You sort of like, brings some rotates over. And they double back into a C hit. And, yeah. And now they're going back, and I just wanted to show you the Sage wall. But they do it again. So they do this round 3 to 7. So this upcoming round, they're going to do it again. So they know that, Optic loves playing in this like area, right? So the default mid a little bit, show some pressure, swing the window, see if anyone's there. They wall up. They messed it up, unfortunately, but it's okay because in a second, I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this is sort of like the spot where he, looks. So he like hugs this wall, and then he aims right here, and you sort of just turn your wall like this, and it's pretty free. So you see how like that wall sort of extends out to the side. You want to practice this in a custom game because it's hard to get down the first time. So like you come up here, this is sort of what it looks like. You have a lot of wiggle room too. You can see Lucas is still here, and he's got a lot of wiggle room. But I'm going to show you what this looks like from the opera's perspective. So yeah. This is what it looks like. And if you're an opper, obviously, like, let me pull out my op. You're holding this. You hear, like, a Sage wall. You're like, what? And then you have this bozo poking it. Poking his head over the wall on long. So, yeah, that was really cool. So, that being said, that was really, like, the two major points that I want to show from the Paper X game. Sage, they use her really well. So, if you want to, like, learn how to use her, like, extremely well, I suggest you watch that VOD. But now I'm going to show you a couple games or a couple rounds from the Faze versus 100 Thieves series. It's a good series because Faze uses her really well, and 100 Thieves, in my opinion, doesn't use her so well. But yeah, I'm going to take you guys there now. All right, so we're going to talk about Faze versus 100 Thieves and the use of Sage. Now, Sage on this map is really good at one thing, especially on attack, and it's going B. Her wall just makes it so awkward to stop the plant when most players are playing like they play like B-Link or A-Link, C-Link, and they don't have much to stop them. If you're playing against a Breach, it's a little different because he could like C-Blast, Aftershock that corner and get you out of the plant spot, but even then it's still kind of difficult. You sort of need like a Molly, like a Killjoy or something to like get them out of that area, or like a Raise Nade or a Fade Suck, like combo maybe. But funny statistic from this game that I got myself is that Faze goes B on attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of their I forget how many rounds they win on this half, but 8 rounds. 5 out of the 8 rounds that they won this half were on a B hit, right? And 100 Thieves just doesn't do much to adjust to them. But whatever. So I'm going to show you one of these hits and what they look like. So starting off, okay, jump spots so Chamber can swing. They fade eye. Okay, Will, he's put in charge of like trying to get one and then get out. That's impossible. How is he supposed to get one and get out, right? So like they get basically a free plant down on B. Now all they have to do, they have the better guns. They just sit back and then they play the retake, spam, whatever, and they win. So second round, they decide to go B again. Stellar takes a few shots to the mid window, thinking they might go B again, heals himself. Now again, there's not much they can do to stop this B plant, right? They Sage slow, sure, that's fun and all, but when they're slamming sight this hard, like, yeah, this fatalty's nice too, but like nobody's here to follow up off it. This fatalty comes in, there's no like raise nade to come in after it, there's no people to follow up off after it, nobody's following the dog, so like what's the point? Fade used her ulti, both dogs, and they killed a guy through smoke, like by chance, kind of, right? Now, this postment looks a little shaky because playing on B is kind of tough. Superman's a really good player, but he ends up making some plays. He's, swinging people left and right. People in front of him trying to use him as a point of contact. So I'll sort of just let this play out. Just 100 Thieves. They're retaking, but like, it's a 1v3 and they lost the round. I know Bang, he turns it into like a 1v1. But again, so far, 2 rounds in a row they've gone B, no adjustments been made. So now they decide, what is it, Phase, I should say, sorry. They use a smoke to apply some mid pressure again. I think Sage just ends up walling it off, but like they're on an ego. It is what it is. There's one thing that 100 Thieves does well. So far, it's been a few rounds, and we get to see anything cool done with like the Sage, right? It's like defense, right? This is the half where Sage is supposed to be used a lot. Right, you can make plays around her wall. So far, we haven't seen what like 100 Thieves do, like a wall bait, right? Maybe like Sage walls this area, then maybe Chamber goes in this cubby, and he like sort of swings somebody trying to break the wall, plus like a Sage on top of wall, like they do like a double swing, or some teams you're gonna see Faze do this. Faze will wall up over this default smoke that teams throw down, and they'll shoot the guys like trying to run in. So this is the first round where we see, if you look at the minimap, Sage will throw up this wall in garage. And this is a really common wall that you see in ranked a lot. They'll like throw this like wedge wall in garage doors so that you can't really break it. And Chamber will be behind it here. Okay, well, they'll put the wedge wall up, right? And usually you have to break all the pieces and it's annoying, right? Well, in this case, what they do is they wall and then Chamber sits behind the wall. So like the wall doesn't actually cover the entire garage door. It's just like a bait. Like they have to come break this, right? So like when they come shoot it, Chamber just swings out and like he kills 2. But I think they messed up the wall here. Because as you can see, Chamber really couldn't get through all the way there. It didn't really work. So that was the first round where we see Sage used like a little creatively, right? Or on defense, you could even use it for the retake. We haven't seen that yet once. Like if they're going to take B, wall up on when you're trying to defuse. Like we haven't seen any of that from 100 Thieves so far. But 100 Thieves takes a timeout. We're going to go to 3 to 4, round 8. This round. This is another round where again Faze goes B. So the beginning of the round goes, they have like this Roomba lineup that clears most of garage. Raze gets out a little bit. Chamber's holding the B cross. They have this smoke. Again, this smoke is really popular for applying A pressure because it's hard to deal with. You normally don't want to peek in front of it, but with Chamber, anything's possible, right? So they create some mid pressure. They're walking up, like, oh, I think B's free again. They use this fade dog to clear close, make sure nobody's like holding this, right? Maybe even bait to rotate back over because Chamber gets smoked off. Doesn't work. But as you can see, this is now going to be the 3rd round where Faze goes B. And again, no adjustment really has been made. And a lot of rounds you'll see Raze sitting on C or sitting on A, right? But like, why not have Raze sit somewhere like in these links where she can be like the first rotator? Because they don't have anybody in their comp, that can like stop this B plant. If they just Sage wall up, they don't have anything that can pull them off. So why not have like a setup where Fade helps Chamber get posted up on this angle so they can hold a lobby control, right? And then once obviously Chamber's there, Fade can rotate off, right? And then maybe Sage plays like in garage or something, or garage or C or something, and Raze sort of plays in this area, like in C link, so that if they do decide to go B, Raze can nade here, right? Or if they end up going garage, Sage could do something like throw a slow from link or a slow from window, and Raze could combo and nade that way, right? But from C, she's not really being utilized a whole lot in this position, and I don't really know what their protocol is here. And I could be completely wrong. Sean Garris and the whole crew at 100 Thieves do a good job at what they do, and maybe they have their reasonings for all this, but like I feel like they're not using Sage so far to her fullest potential. So Faze is like, okay, B's kind of feeling free. They don't have they do have an op, it's on the chamber, but like no one's really watching this angle, and if it's a chamber, he's not going to be playing like back here or back here. So let's just contact up and see what happens. So they're walking up, they're clearing their angles. They know somebody's got to be holding, right? They eventually eliminate all the angles, so like somebody's got to be holding from here, right? So again, they get down, and no one's here to stop them. They get the B plant, and they're just let off the hook for free. And they didn't even use the Sage wall. So far, no adjustment from 100 Thieves. Haven't done anything cool with the Sage wall. No baits, no anything. It sucks. You could fight for mid. You could like slow window maybe and like try and get your chamber down mid or something, or get him a kill. Like I said, you could do a wall bait. You could do, I don't know, you could do a lot of things, but I don't see any of it. So we're gonna go to this next round where they do try to make an adjustment. I'll give them that. They do try to make an adjustment. So they try to do this mid play, like a sort of like push mid, because Faze is taking it a lot. So what you'll see is Omen smoke window, Raze walks down. This isn't anything crazy. Omen walks down alongside her, right? But this round Faze, they're taking all this A lobby control, and this is really cool because this is a really good reaction from 100 Thieves. Fade uses her ult and tags like 4 of them here, so that when Raze and Omen make like Omen come up through window, they can't like hear them, or they can't like really pay attention to them because they're Fade ulted. They can't hear anything. They're half HP. They're all worried and whatnot, right? So Fade uses her ult not for her in chamber, but for the teammates that are coming up behind her, right? So she kills one there. And now this is really well played from Faze. So Faze knows that at 100 Thieves, off of that kill, right? Like they were in the window, they were shooting some people, right? They're gonna fall back all the way to B. They're gonna fall back. There's no way you sit around in this area. One, it's not the right way to play. But two, they hear them. They hear them run all the way back. They hear them run all the way back towards B. Omen resmokes it. Asuna spring from B again, so like they know that they're far back. I don't know who the IGL is for Faze, but they're saying, "Yo, let's go back to B." They just ran all the way back. Let's go. And especially with this B smoke, this is a telltale sign that they don't have mid anymore. They just gave it up. So Faze, without using any utility, was able to walk up mid completely for free. So and they know B's been weak, so why not do it again? They got the information, but what are they going to do with it? Nothing. What are they going to do? They walk into B. I don't know why Sage hasn't put her wall up yet, but she uses it for over here. Austin doesn't even get a good nade off. So like, not only have they not been denying this plant, but he didn't even use it that well. He didn't use it to like stop plants or anything. I don't know what happened over here in A-Link. Maybe they weren't expecting like a double swing. Oh well, but Icy's been looking good on the chamber. But again, this is, I don't know how many rounds now that they've gone B, and it is what it is. So this is another round where, you guessed it, guys, they're gonna go B. I goes in, it clears close. Dog clears even deeper into sight. Omen smokes go down, Sage wall goes in. There's no nade, no breach aftershock. There's nothing to stop it. Now they're like all over site. Sage is up here. They have the better weapons. But I guess I could play this. 100 Thieves hit some nasty shots. They do retake this well. I'll give them this. So I'll just skip a little forward ahead. So the bomb comes in. Baby Bay's running on with his rocket launcher, his ult. Doesn't get any, but now the bomb is planted for spam. Laya's in a good spot on top of that wall. Backside again, it is difficult to hold, but 100 Thieves do this retake really well. They use their Omen paranoia, goes all the way up here, plus an Omen smoke here. It gets all front sight, kills, what is it? Blinds out everybody so they can like isolate backside first. And then once that person back there isn't taken care of, they can worry about the front of sight. And the reason why they smoked this and didn't like send anybody like towards garage or like up A or whatever. I mean, they could have sent somebody up A, but this was kind of a fast play. But the reason why they didn't go garage is because they all have like frenzies and sheriffs and stuff. They need to together work to kill anybody who's on site, and then what is it? Then they could like sort of push out and deal with the spammers, right? And they know Faze has been, they've been taking site, they've been playing up on site almost every time they've gone B. So this is a really good read from 100 Thieves. They retake site, and then they blind, hit their shots, and they win the round. But again, that doesn't change the fact that they are going B constantly. But like that round would have been perfect. They what is it? Faze, they just walked up in a B for free. Why not do like a wall and put your chamber here? Maybe he gets one with his Deeg, right? Or maybe they do like a double swing off the wall, like one swings off the left side, one swings off the right side. Like, or maybe chamber plays like in an off angle up here. Maybe he takes first contact on somebody, then Sage swings off of him. Like, there's so many things you could do with Sage where you just don't see it being used. But that's okay. And now this next round, we're gonna see this wall bait coming in. So this is that same wall that we talked about before, where Sage walls like this, and then chamber tries to take a peek after. But Faze, you know, maybe they've seen this before, because, you know, Faze still dogs mid. Like, they know that this is a thing. And I really wish this worked, because this is really well played from 100. Not well played, but like, it was a good idea. You know, it's a good way to use Sage. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But let's see. I guess, should we play the rest of this? No. A lot of the time, too, you'll see that Sage, her wall, like on attack at least, isn't really used for anything that crazy. Besides that Paper Rex run I show you, like they'll just wall off, what is it? The wall off CT, make it awkward to retake, right? Because it just creates like 3 more cubbies that they have to clear on top of the wall, right? That extra wall and graffiti. And it just makes it hard to retake from. It makes a choke point even narrower, right? So, this was also confusing to me too. This retake. Don't know if this was the right idea from 100 Thieves. But, what is it? Faze ended up faking C going A. Sold a really good fake with both Omen smokes and like I think the Fade ulti too. But when they go to retake, they send like 3 Heaven, which I get it. They have to like Sage res, right? So Sage just goes up there. But like I think Austin might have went a bit too early. Maybe I'm wrong. So like, as you can see, everyone's getting ready. They got 4 people on Heaven. Austin is out. So like he's making the space on the retake, right? He like satcheled out, like he's going like this way to like sandwich anybody on this wall with Derek. But then I think the timing, you know, I take back what I said. I think Asuna was like the one way they would win this round is if he makes a play like this. I think that everybody after him though was way too late. They sort of like just trickle in behind him, when in reality their spacing was probably just bad. But that's whatever. So we saw what 100 Thieves defense looked like. It wasn't that great with the Sage. I don't know what their protocols and game plans are. You know, maybe something went completely wrong, or like something I don't know, didn't go right, or there's something maybe they didn't plan Faze to run this comp or something. But from what it looked like to me, that they didn't use the Sage that well. They didn't really adapt. But now we're going to take a look at Faze and see how they use Sage, and you'll be surprised they actually use her pretty well. So let's go to that perspective now. All right, so starting on pistol round, 100 Thieves is going to go for like a mid take, maybe to like get back at them. Like, we're going to go B now. We're going to go B every round. But no, it looks like what is it? Faze. They got like a raise. This is what I'm talking about. They got the raise and fade stuck combo that's about to go down over here on the plant spot. You have Sage peeking A just for info. She can like stall with her wall and whatnot, and full util. And they got Omen and Chamber playing towards C. Now, keep in mind, Sage has full util. She has 2 slows and a wall. Keep that in mind. I think Faze play this much better than 100 Thieves. So the plant goes in, Fade suck. Like that was almost got like them a triple kill. If that was like just a second later, like look at that. When that Fade suck goes down. Like, it gets Asuna. I don't know how he got out of that, to be honest with you. But again, this was just a really this was a better game plan than 100 Thieves had. Asuna swings backside. He's making plays though. But now this is where Sage's full Yuto comes in like clutch here. All right, so Faze goes for the retake garage to make sure that's cleared out. But what people forget about is this will flank all the way up C long, and what you're about to see is pretty unfortunate. But he's got a really good flank in, right? 4v3, he's gonna try and go for a couple more, right? Superman, I guess, is just itches, right? He just turns around and just punishes Will. But see, now Sage just has her wall plus a slow. It's impossible to stop him from defusing. And this is exactly what I was talking about, which I wish I saw more from 100 Thieves. Saving the wall for retake, making plays around the wall, having the fade, raise, suck combo to stop this these B pushes that Faze have been doing. This is exactly what I wish I saw. And as you can see, it worked out for Faze a lot better. So yeah, using the wall for retake, really good. And now what you're going to see this round is 100 Thieves playing Grab the Orb. Grab the Orb for Asuna because he gets a rocket launcher and can make a play later in the game. But this isn't anything too crazy. Again, we have Sage playing towards A to like stall and do all that jazz. Now, the thing that I want to show you, this wall. This wall is really good because, as you see, he hops off the wall. You can see their feet. He can punish them trying to go for this orb. He can shoot them as like they're running up for the orb or whatever, and they can't see him. It is a Sage wall one way. And I went into a custom game. I'm going to go into a custom game actually, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're back on Valorant, and I'm going to show you guys what is it, one way that 100 Thieves did looks like. So he sort of throws his wall out like this, and he angles it in a way where like, if you're going to try this in a custom game, because it's kind of tough to do on the fly, you want to make sure that you have enough wiggle room, like there's enough space like on that left to see like the person. And even though it looks like it's off the ground, it is, but like that's good. You want as much space on the left side as possible. So you wall up like this, and then my buddy Lucas tries to go up, and you can see his feet, and you shoot at them. Get you some free kills, some chip damage at the very least. But now if you go from this side, this is what it looks like. Yeah, you can't see him at all, and he can see me. As you can see, he's shooting my feet. So that's a really cool wall. Me and Lucas were messing around earlier before doing this. You could wall like this too. This one's kind of hard to get, and we didn't see anyone use this. I just thought it was kind of cool. You could wall like this, and you could sort of see people from down there. As you can see, I could see Lucas. And now if you switch sides, yeah, I can't see anything. You see this big wall, you're blasting the wall. You're not going to blast the guy that's shooting at your feet, and he can see me. So yeah, there's some pretty cool Sage one ways that you could do. I'm sure a couple of different maps, but on Haven you see that, what is it, Faze or 100 Thieves use this one way really well. And they also, yeah, they got some other walls going on, but I just wanted to stop by and show you that wall. But let's go back to the rest of the rounds now. All right, so that's how you do the one way. But now I'm going to take us back to round 15. And as you can see, Faze is about to use this, what is this? This wall bait that we talked about before. It's not used, you know, they didn't use it, but the concept still applies. They have this Sage wall. I think she's on top of her wall. I think we saw a glimpse of her. But as soon as this chamber makes contact, I bet you $100,000 that Sage would have swung with the chamber. They would have gotten two at least. So they had the Sage wall to wall off CT, make it awkward to like, it makes this crossfire really awkward. It's really hard to trade bang out in this situation because he's behind the wall. You have to like go all the way around to like punish him for it. Derek's getting his suck ready for when the retake actually starts. I don't know if he's thrown the suck yet. Chamber's on a really good flank. We're now worried about so many different things. They're worried about people piling in from CT, from Heaven, from long now. Stellar makes a really big play. Asuna's been trying to snuff out this flank this entire time. And now it's a 1v1 versus Dicey and Asuna, the two original members of 100 Thieves, or the two young guns of 100 Thieves at one point. And Asuna wins. It was a really good retake from Faze. They did a really good job of sending in a flank and all that jazz. He almost won that round. So, again, 100 Thieves default. They use this Roomba to, like, clear out most of short. They have, like, a Roomba lineup for it. And they use this smoke to, like, block off the salt line from long. So if they had their Rena smoke here, I wish there was because it would have been way cooler. But Sage walls up their chamber so they can see over the smoke and kill anybody who's like, you know, peeking this, like, I don't know, crossing from the lobby, right? And it, again, a really good way to punish a team for their default. Again, that's how you make a play with your Sage. You can wall people over things. What is it? Yeah, you can wall people up on top of here. You can wall somebody out over here. You can, let's say, for example, a team like smoking the top of C long so you can't peek on top of the box. Sage wall him up top, and I'm sure he'll get another kill. Sage is just a really versatile agent, and if you don't have plays built around her, like, you might as well not run her. Saving her wall for retakes, doing wall baits. If you're not making plays around your Sage, I don't think there's a point in running her, I'll be honest. There's no point. But FaZe did a really good job of using her this game, and that's why I think that they destroyed 100 Thieves in this map. No. One thing that I forgot to mention, I guess, is like you see some teams too, they'll use a Sage slow in this area plus a Raise nade versus like a Fade suck. But I thought that was pretty... it's not that important. But now we're going to go to this round where... talk about the wall, how it's hard for it to make good trades. Oh yeah, so like you saw this round, Sage did a slow orb, they put an omen smoke, and they put a fade eye. So they made it literally impossible for anybody to sneak anywhere into this area. It's impossible. They have all of the lobby control. This person dips out, and that's done for. I think this is a really good way to like fight for a lobby, because if nobody breaks it, you used very little util to get a ton of map control. So this allows them to force stack the one half of the map. Yeah, Superman, a little bit of a whiff there, but it happens. This is a good eco run from 100 Thieves. 4 of them piling in the garage. They isolate the guy in window. Now, the Sage is still alone on A. They're going to double back and apply some pressure to her. If not, just straight up go A. But this is that wall. I'm pretty sure that's still the same one-way wall that we saw before. But if you have a good Sage too, this is why she's a really good anchor. Because she can do crazy things like this wall. She can wall up, peek over these boxes, peek into short, then duck back, and then maybe like Sage slow this area so they can't trade really well. And this will buy time for her teammates to pile in, right? So walls up. I think this is an overextension. That's a misplay from Flya. If he just falls back on his other side of the wall, he still has his one way to play off of too, because that was the same wall that we saw before. And unfortunately, FaZe has to play retake. But I think Flya had a chance there to make a really big play and actually single-handedly win this round. So that's how you play Sage on this map. You can set up plays for her, you can wall your teammates up, you can bait, you can stall, you can use it for retake, you can make retakes that much harder. And yeah, Sage is really good. I think she's underrated, and it's nice to see her back in the meta. Yeah, and this goes to show too that you could run any comp that you want. You can run whatever agents you want, because you could replace a Sage with a Sova, with a Kea, with a Skye, with a I've seen Viper. You could throw a Viper on her too, and you can make another duelist. We've seen that from Paper Rex as well, in a different comp they used to run. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and I hope I inspired some of you guys to play Sage. I'd like to see her back in the meta. She's a lot of fun. So yeah, with that being said, hope you guys learned something from this. If you haven't watched the series, watch it if you want to learn how to play Sage. Got some pretty good examples here. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.